This is the title track of the new record. It's called No One Gets Out Alive, and it's all about making the most of our time while we got it. By the house, visit Rome, wear the dress that stops the show, don't you know? No one gets out alive. Call the boy, ask the girl, have no regrets when you leave this world, 'cause you know no one gets out alive. So stay a while here on the swing, let's pretend we'll always be together, 'cause there's no way that we could know when we'll go where all things go forever. I'm gonna hope for better. Watch the sky from a hill. Do what you can to make time stand still, 'cause you know no one gets out for better.
I'm Cece Mitchell with Iowa Public Radio Studio One, and we are here at Woolies with Maggie Rose. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me today.
Hi, Cece. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Sure thing. So let's just get right into it. Earlier this month, you released an electronic remix of your song Under the Sun with Dutch producer Laverne. How did you make that connection, and what other songs can we expect dance remixes out of?
Well, the second question, which other songs to expect dance remixes out of, I'm not sure yet. It was just something that was really fun and spontaneous. It came about because I like Laverne's music. The beautiful thing about Instagram and the internet, I think, is just how it's opened the lines of communication between artists, and those avenues for collaboration are so much more available. So we've been talking on WhatsApp, and I think he really liked my voice. I loved his work, and we did all of that remotely. So he took the stems of that project and then put his own spin on it, and it brought a little energy to this song that has a really cool groove when we do it, but now it's ready for the clubs.
So you have spent over 10 years in the Nashville country scene, but since 2018 or so, you've kind of transitioned into a more like R&B, soul influenced sort of sound. How would you describe the genre of music you're playing now, and why did you make that change?
It wasn't really a conscious change, and I would argue that it's even been a little bit longer since I waded out of the commercial country scene. I still play at the Grand Ol Opry like once a month, which is so cool. But it was just me becoming better acquainted with myself as a person and as a musician, and realizing my capabilities as a vocalist. I love the urgency of live music, like just making music with the band, and bringing that energy that you see on the stage into the studio, I think lent to the evolution of my music and more of that soul kind of feeling. But I mean, I call it, it's American rock and soul. It's pop. It has a lot of that Laurel Canyon pop feel, and I try to make songs and pair them with production that's going to stand the test of time. So I'm not chasing a lot of trends, but trying to serve each song and what it's saying.
Your latest record, No One Gets Out Alive, was just released this past April. What was your inspiration for the new record?
That record, No One Gets Out Alive, is a lot about just going for it. I think I was, like so many of us, dealing with the aftermath of the pandemic. I had suffered some personal loss in my life, and it's definitely a coming of age project as well. And I think sometimes in life, when we want to take on a big goal, we're like, oh, I just need to wait till this thing is perfect or this thing is perfect. And there rarely is this scenario where everything's exactly in its place. And this record was about trying to make something beautiful, even without, everything not being so perfectly clean cut.
Pat McLaughlin is an acclaimed songwriter for legends like John Prine, Bonnie Raitt, Nancy Griffith, and Alan Jackson, and he was actually born here in Iowa in Waterloo. So what was it like working with him and the many other great composers that you worked with on this new record?
Oh, Pat's the man. I loved working with him. We wrote a song together with our friend Cliff Aldrich called Only Time Around. And Pat's sensibilities as a musician are so classical, but he's also kind of quirky in his own right. And he came up with a lot of the chord structure of that song, which is this beautiful circle of fifths, kind of it wanders around in a way that it matches the longing of the song. And he's so funny, and his stories are plentiful in terms of what he's done in his career. And I just wrote with him the other week as well. So it's been a great friendship. And he lent his acoustic playing to the recordings of that song as well.
One thing that really stood out to me while I was doing my research about you, I looked at your Instagram and you seem to be well dressed in every single photo. Who is dressing you, and how did you develop your own fashion style?
Well, I've been doing this such a long time that I think there's been lots of iterations of both my personal style from the aesthetic standpoint and musical style. And I think I love something that has a little edge but has elegance to it as well. I don't ever want to wear something on stage that's going to be taking my mind off of what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. But I think that's also kind of one of the perks of being a woman, is that you can use that aesthetic to kind of give the audience an idea of what they're about to hear. It just sort of supplements what you're doing if you do it right. But yeah, I do a lot of my own styling. I work with Courtney Jury in Nashville as well, and we have inspiration boards, and it's just kind of fun to play around with that. It's an occupational perk for sure.
So Des Moines is just the second stop of many that you have on the No One Gets Out Alive tour. What places or venues are you most excited to go on this tour?
Well, I'm very excited to be here, and I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you. It's been years and years since I've been in Des Moines. On my mom's side, I have ties to Iowa, so it feels cool to kind of return to her homelands.
You've played the Grand Ol Opry over 50 times. What do you love most about live radio?
I've played the Grand Ol Opry 107 times.
Oh, wow.
I just had that 107th, and I'm a nerd about it. I keep very close track because that's how important it is to me. Live radio, it's like live music. That's your one shot. You don't get to say, oh, I messed up and start over again. But everyone's depending on each other. Even the artist and the audience, they're depending on each other to make that moment mean something. And I just think it's so special that the Grand Ol Opry is a tradition that's been around for 100 years. And I think just the way they've been capable of evolving as an institution and incorporating what it means to be a Nashville musician, not just a country musician, but what makes that city so great, I think is why they'll be around for a long time.
Well, Maggie Rose, thank you so much for coming here to Des Moines. We're so excited for your show tonight, and thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you, Cece. It's great to talk to you.
Hold your friends, forgive the night, die to love, live your life, don't you know? No one gets out alive.
Thank you.
It's never
Just
too
another
early.
sound check. Thank you guys so much.